All right, here we go, right there.
Okay.
I did this presentation yesterday. Here I am referring to the Wall Street Journal, and it's not here. This is what they refer to. Actually, this is the actual copy, and this is the Miami Report that they refer to. So my brother calls me and says, "Nice job, you mentioned the Wall Street Journal." But look what they wrote: 20,000 condos are planned for the Miami area, according to the ISG World 2019 Miami Report. Now I'm really happy that my older brother is very proud of me. But that's not what I wanted the Wall Street Journal to talk about. In reality, out of the 20,000 that we mentioned in my report, 19,868 are currently sold. 1,750 are sold, meaning 90% actually sold. 19,868 were the ones that were delivered, and 17,000 were sold. Those are the four numbers that I just went through. Now let me go through this with you. Now I'm back. Sorry guys, I lost my track of that more powerful. Please forgive me. April 30th. Now this is the presentation we made at Brickell City Center. And as of April 30th, there were 2,101 condos for sale from Coconut Grove to Fort Lauderdale. 296 were for sale in Brickell Avenue. Developer condos that started in the cycle in 2012. Are you with me? It's going to pick up pace now, guys, I promise you. That's how many condos were for sale as of April 30th. Remember, let's go back to 2009 when CNN said there were 22,000 condos for sale. And we said, no, you're wrong, there's 11,500. As of April 30th, there's really only 2,100. 2 months later, as of June 30th, 2 months later, 2101 became 1988. And Brickell, 296, became 266. The Wall Street Journal said there were 20,000 condos that are planned for Miami. Now, some people have said to me what we should do is call the Wall Street Journal, ask them to make a correction. Can I tell you something? I spoke to Miley Aguila. She's the Senior Vice President of Residential Sales for Swire. She's here tonight, somewhere. And we discussed, what do we do about this? Because that paints a terrible picture for Miami. And she said, and I agreed, leave it alone. Leave it alone. This came the Friday before 4th of July weekend. I told you all, I'm from that part of the world. On 4th of July weekend, I promise you, people were talking about 20,000 condos for sale in Miami. And come this coming winter, when they're down here escaping the frigid cold, they're going to come down and they're going to be looking for 20,000 condos. The Wall Street Journal got that completely wrong. But I'll tell you what the Wall Street Journal got right. They said the prices are down in Miami, and they are. For example, here at Reach and Rise, in the 30-year history of Swire, they've never offered the kind of incentives they're offering now. We have an anxious seller that wants to start the next cycle in 2020. Related is an anxious seller. They want to start the next cycle in 2020. PMG is an anxious seller. I can give you one developer after another. They're all in the same boat. They want to start the next cycle next year, but they're not going to be comfortable doing it until the remaining inventory is pretty much down to zero. So in 2 months, 2101 became 1988. On Brickell, 296 became 266. It's starting to work. In reality now, there's 90% of the 19,868 or so leaving 1988. Sometime in October, we'll do the Q3 update. My guess is that 1988 will be somewhere between 1,200 to 1,300 units. It's starting to disappear a little faster than you can imagine. Out of the 1988, we break it out into categories. This is standing inventory, like the inventory at Reach and Rise. This is under construction. There's 1,200 of those. Under construction will be projects like in Edgewater, Missoni, Eliseis, downtown Miami, Aston Martin. And then finally, pre-construction. As an example, here on Brickell Avenue, we have a property called Una. Pre-construction hasn't broken ground yet. This is a peculiar number because I'll tell you folks, in the 30 years of living here, this was always the other way around. There was always a lot more projects, a lot more units in pre-construction than there were delivered. This is a peculiar cycle. In 2009, 10 years ago, we were dealing with a very weak dollar and a very strong South American economy. Now we're dealing with a strong dollar. We're dealing with one of the strongest U.S. economies we've seen ever. Consequently, we've seen tap down South American demand. We don't have as much demand from South America as we had in 2012, 13, 14, and 15. We're struggling. We're pulling our hair out. Where's the next sale going to come from? Well, we're relying, I'll get into where those sales are coming from in a minute. And some of them are coming from South America. South America does return. Because always what seems to follow low tide is high tide. South American buyers are not buying like they used to. Why? Because people with money have money for a reason. They're good with their money. They manage their money well. And if I'm a wealthy man in Brazil, Argentina, Venezuela, Colombia, I'm not going to, or Mexico, I'm not going to exchange my pesos or reais to US dollars when the dollar is so high, just because some real estate agent in Miami said it's a good time to buy. No, they're going to wait. They're going to wait until that agent says you're kind of at that crossroads, because the buying opportunity, the prices are so good that if you wait for the dollar to lose value against your current currency, you may be missing out altogether. And that, in fact, is starting to happen with some help from the changing political winds down in South America. But this is how the high dollar, just as an FYI, has affected developers. In 2000, we started the cycle. This is, by the way, I know you can't read it. That's 2012. This is 2013.